So for this block here, we're splitting the block and we're going to put 2 dwellings onto it. Now we can't design without considering the constraints. So for example, the minimum setback. For setbacks, we're talking the front setback, the side setbacks, as well as the rear setback, which shapes the footprint that we're going to be able to play with. Now we typically need to inset the garage an extra meter so that garages don't dominate the streetscape. Site access is typically overlooked until way too late in the process. So we're looking at where's the garage going to go and where is the front door, and can we get access to those? So we're talking things like minimum driveway width as well as the steepness of that driveway. You also typically have a maximum garage door width. For this one, it's 6 meters. Now the amount of required vehicle spaces typically depends on how many bedrooms there are in the development. So for this one, it's 2 spaces because of the amount of bedrooms that we have. Now for the height of the building, this one had a 9 meter height limit. Now this 9 meters is from the existing ground. So we typically model this existing ground, then raise it up 9 meters, and this height is the maximum that we can build up to. So from a street view, it's going to look a little bit more like this. So we need to make sure the entire building stays underneath that height, including the roof. Landscaping is another constraint. For this site, we needed a minimum of 20% landscaping. So this is 20% of the total site area. We also need to make sure that there's adequate privacy between the different spaces. This is called private open space. For this one, for the balconies, it's a minimum of 20 square meters. And for the ground floor, we're typically looking at 50 square meters. So that people aren't overlooking into each other's private open spaces, we can typically use things like privacy screening. While the exact numbers for these constraints change from area to area, the general design principles stay the same.